y'all, welcome back to Lantern Creek Farm.
Alright, y'all. Have you all probably guessed it? We're in the kitchen today. We're in the kitchen because why? What are we doing today, sis?
We're canning.
Well, we're not quite canning today. We're going to get our tomatoes ready to be canned hopefully tomorrow, good Lord willing, and we make it till tomorrow. We are going to process the tomatoes today. And then, Lord willing, can them tomorrow. For those of you that watched my salsa video, anytime, typically, when I am canning tomato products, I did it last year, I'm doing it this year, I do it in 2 days. I do it in 2 parts. It's just easier for me, with everything that I have going on. It works better with just my schedule. It's better for me. And you can do it that way if you choose to do so. You just have to be able to refrigerate the tomato products overnight. And so that's what we're going to be doing. Here is the tomatoes we've got here. We've got multiple bowls on the table. I am going to save back a few so we have some good eating tomatoes. But the rest of them, Lord willing, is going to be canned. And so we're going to get started. Alright guys, so these are the tomatoes we've got to process. As you can tell, we're getting some spots on the ones that we've saved back for eating. This has got a big spot on it. These are definitely going because they've got splits on them. I'll save some of these for eating that don't have any splits or anything on them. That way we have something to eat with a sandwich or breakfast or something. But the rest of them are going to be processed. These are done cleaned, so I don't have to worry about that. So we're going to go ahead and get them bowling and get them split. That way we can get our skins off. Something that I forgot to do, and my mother-in-law reminded me when she said it the other day. Seen it done. I guess I didn't do it last year. Maybe that's not why. Maybe that's why I forgot to do it. It's a lot easier to slice. Just do like an X on the tomatoes. Like here's your aroma tomato right here. Just do an X on them through the skin a little bit before you put them in the hot water to boil or to get the skins off. They come off easier. And I forgot to do that last time, so Lord willing, I'm going to try to do that this time, and it'll speed up the process for us just a little bit faster. As you can see, it's a little bit shorter than this stock pot. So what we'll do is we'll let the tomatoes we'll get the skins off. I'll cut them up a little bit in a bowl, and then we'll pour them right in the stock pot. I know this stock pot fits in my fridge. That might be a problem for some other people to have a taller stock pot, but it does fit in the bottom of my fridge. So as long as I've got room in there to fit it in, we'll just use this one. It's thinner too, so it heats up a lot faster. That way when I reheat it tomorrow to put it in the cans, it'll happen a lot faster than it would in this thicker pot. So that's what we got going. Alright guys, we've got a small basket here. I'm going to pull them over as I can. We're going to use this cutting board here, and then we'll drop them down in the water. Lakin found a neat looking
Tomato. I'm thinking it was trying, I don't know what it was doing. It's just got this.
Alright, so let's get our knife here. Excuse me. We're going to go ahead. I don't need it. Got our knife. We're going to go ahead and score these. Put it up. Something I want to add, as you all could see there, we're using both Roma tomatoes and regular tomatoes. We've got tomatoes, well, you've seen the one. We've got tomatoes like this one that is already split open. And those are bug magnets on your countertop. Anybody who's raised a garden and has tomato split and stuff like that knows they bring gnats and ants and stuff like that and flies in, and so we don't want any of that brought in, and we definitely don't want to throw these out and waste them. And so we're going to can them up right along with the Roma tomatoes. In the previous year, that's all I used. This is our first year actually growing these Roma tomatoes instead of these. I wanted to see how they canned. Something I have noticed is last year these tomatoes tend to be a little more watery than these tomatoes. I believe, in my opinion, it might have just been the weather, but we'll see definitely how much more moisture and water we get out of these this year, because I'll be able to compare it than we did these. So anywho, that's what's going on. But I did want to explain that, you know, we are using both. Like you all see in my garden video, I don't know if it'll come out before this one, but our tomato plants are trying to bolt now. They're trying to head out, and so we've got some that's coming on, but we've got some that are done producing. So we're going to use whatever we can to get as much canned as we can. So anyways, that's the explanation as to why I'm using both. Alright guys, we got our cold water here. I put a little ice in it. It is warm in the kitchen today. It's about 100 degrees outside today, and so the house is warm. So we are going to, I see a couple that are ready here. And got skins. You see? It's peeling off nicely. We're going to go ahead and drop them in the cold water here. That way we can handle them a little bit better. And you want to pull it out?
I kind of use that.
This is Lakin's favorite job. She don't like the smell of the tomatoes as much, but this one's ready to definitely. Something I've noticed too, the Roma tomatoes take a little bit longer for the skins to get a little bit looser on, and these bigger eaten tomatoes, I'll call them, they peel off a lot faster. So anyways, we're going to be pulling these out, and then we'll be back with you. Alright guys, we got our first batch out here. I think I'm going to need a bigger bowl, or I might just put them down in our sink here. The water's already getting hot because it's so many tomatoes. So I might just run some cold water over these and put some cold water in the sink. But we need to go ahead and put some more tomatoes in. So here we go. Put that over there in the bowl, please. Okay. Put that one in the bowl. Oh, I wasn't scoring these. See. I forgot. There's a couple of them I didn't score. That'll be alright. Now that I did try this, I've seen this before, and I knew it was faster from other people saying it was faster, but I've never done it. Scoring them definitely does help. So something I do too, I don't have the lid for this old pot here. But I did take my stock pot lid and put it on top of it. So we're going to get the second load in, get them scored, Lord willing, and get them in here. And while these are going down, and then I'll show you the ones after they cool down. That's getting the skins off. Alrighty, Lakey's got this tomato, and she just had to show you all. It's got a really goofy shape to it. It's like two tomatoes attached together, and she just couldn't live another day without showing you all. Is it goofy?
Yeah.
Alright, there it is.
I'm a beak.
She's got a beak, she said. Alright. Alright guys, we got enough tomatoes to go ahead and start getting started. They've cooled enough that they can be handled, and so we're going to start peeling. I've got a bowl here that I'm going to put peels in. And Lakin, will you hand me another one of those blue bowls? And we're going to go ahead and drop them down in the bowl once we get them peeled. Rinse that bowl out. Peeled, and I'm going to go ahead and cut the top of them off there. Lakin's rinsing us a bowl off. And I'm going to go ahead and chop these up. Alright, we had to get situated here on my little small countertop. We've got the tomatoes here and the peels here, so we're going to get them, peel them. And Lakin, while I'm doing this, I want you to check and see if we got any tomatoes ready to go to be pulled out and put down the end of the water to cool.
Okay.
We're going ahead and peel them skins off here.
Yeah.
I'm cutting the tops off, put them down in here, and we're going to cut these up. What is it?
I see one will probably need a minute or two.
Okay.
Because it looks like it's
She's going to be our puller outer. You'll probably have to get you a bowl to go ahead and put those in. As soon as I get these done, after I get these skins peeled off and chopped up, I'll drop them right down into the stock pot. That way they'll be waiting on the rest of the fellers to get out. I want to try to cut these pieces about the same size as the Roma slices I've cut. And like I just showed you how I cut a Roma, and if you notice, this is out of the regular eating tomatoes. Look how much juice we've got here. And I'm gonna say I'm not gonna waste that juice. I'm gonna pour that down in here, hopefully without making big of a mess next time. I might save those towards the end here and go ahead and get the Romas situated because they don't create as much mess as these do. And if you hear noise in the background, my neighbor is mowing, so that's probably the noise that you hear. I'm going to go ahead and apologize on his behalf. You can kind of see right up here in the corner, Lakin got the ones that was in there pulled out, and she's putting another batch in. I think this is going to be a little bit smaller of a batch that I did the other day with the salsa, which is alright. I thought it was more tomatoes looking at it, but now I'm realizing it's not. Should be okay. We'll put up what we can. Something that I've noticed though about the scoring the tomatoes, maybe I just didn't do it, didn't let them go long enough, but it's almost like scoring them gives you a false hope that they're going to feel better than what they are. But something I've noticed is like when I don't score them, the times that I didn't score them, the skins would peel right off, I guess because I boiled them longer. But it's like, can you see how I'm having to peel these off in a bunch of peels when the times that I previously didn't score, they came right off in like, one or two pieces. But I'm having to, even on the small ones, I'm having to peel multiple times, multiple pieces at a time. And I don't know if it's just because, like, when you score them and then you boil them, you think, well, it's scored, because you see it like pulling up. See, that one wasn't even ready to come out, in my opinion. It's taking too long to peel these. So I don't know if maybe next time I score, I'll try again, and I'll have to boil them a little bit longer. I think I pulled them out too soon because I scored them and thought that they were ready, and by the looks of the score they looked ready, but they're not. I never have to peel this much when I didn't score before. I think it was my mistake, but it's an aggravating one because it's taking more time than I would like to be taking to peel these tomatoes. But anyways, we must persevere, so we're going to keep on persevering. We're going to get these tomatoes processed and, Lord willing, in the pot tonight. Let's go ahead and pour this juice. Alright, Lakin's pulling out our last bit here. That's the last of the ones that we had to get the skins off of. You getting them, Goose?
Trying to get as much water out as we can. Okay.
I've got this 5-quart bowl about halfway full here. Like I said, it's going a little bit slower than what I would like to get these skins off. That's my fault. Next time I'll try to learn from my mistake. As you can see, that one had a bad spot in it, so we want to make sure we cut that bad spot out and put it in the scrap. And we're getting these peeled up. I'll show y'all the bowl when we get everything cut and peeled, and then we'll pour it in the pot. I decided I was going to get smart and go ahead and peel multiple, and then start cutting them up instead of doing one at a time. We can kind of just get them cut up, cut the tops off, and get multiple cut up at one time. Maybe it'll go a little faster than doing them individually. In my mind, I feel like it will, so if I'm convinced in my mind, I guess that's all that matters, right? So, we're getting them chopped up here. And then, we'll put them in the bowl. I feel like this is definitely faster. I don't know why I didn't think of this beforehand and why I was doing it individually, but live and learn, I guess. Looks like we got some leakage, so I need to go ahead and pour some of these out. Alright, another thing that I just thought up that I probably should have thought up before is, instead of letting all that juice run all over my counter like I just did, I should have put a tray underneath of it. I'll tilt this sideways, that way the juice runs down here, and then it's got a lip on it, and I can just pour that juice down in here without making such a mess. So anyways, another one of them moments. We're gonna get it figured out though. It just takes time. You gotta do stuff in order to learn from it. If you don't do it, you'll never learn. So today is oh, that had a lot of juice in it. Today is learning lessons day. This has got a bad spot. Wow. Get me a serrated knife, sis. Or actually, I'll just cut around it here. I'll just cut around this core here. We forgot one tomato. We left it on the counter. Is that goopy looking one. She accidentally put it back on the countertop, and we didn't get it in the water. And so we're getting it in the water now to and scored it so that we can bust the hide off of it. It's good, ain't it? Yeah. She got it. So we're just gonna continue to working on. So there we go. All right, guys. So we got a little bit less than what maybe I wanted to do. So I'm gonna use this shorter pot. I was gonna use the bigger stock pot. I know I said I was. Because it's thinner and it fits in the fridge and stuff. This is going to fit in the fridge too. It's shorter. I don't have the lid for it, so I'll have to use this lid, the stock pot lid. But we've been using it to get them other tomatoes ready to peel. If you notice though, the reason why I don't have as many tomatoes, I've got a bowl here and a bowl back there of tomatoes that are just perfectly fine. They're good at eating tomatoes, and I can't justify, they look so good and pretty, I can't justify canning them. I know it sounds bad. The ones that I canned all had bad spots and stuff on them, but these do not, and they're just absolutely perfect and absolutely pretty, and I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't justify doing it when I know that they can be eaten. And so there'll be more Roma tomatoes come up, and I might be able to can a little bit more. But I'm making sauce out of this stuff today, and it's going to cook down. So we'll see how many pints, or I might do quarts. We'll see how many quarts we get. From this, I've got what's left on this tray here, and this we're going to go ahead and pour it in here and let it cook down. So I'll be right back. I got a scrap bowl here. I'm going to move it out of the way. That way y'all can see. And we are going to hopefully pour this stuff in here without making too big of a mess. Actually, let me get the tray out. We'll get a tray out here and sit it down and put it here. And hopefully we can do this without making too big of a mess. So let's see. There's all our juice. It's splashing. No spills. Thank you, Lord Jesus. I'll show y'all what it looks like. Alright, we got it all poured into the pan here. So, look at all that juice. See, this is a lot more juice than just with the Roma tomatoes. Those bigger tomatoes just create a lot more moisture. Which really honestly isn't ideal with what today's recipe is, which is sauce. And so we're going to have to cook this down quite a bit. Now, if I was just doing juice, this would be perfect. But anyways, we're going to do with what we got. And I thank the Lord for it. Although it's not quite what we exactly need, it's going to be good enough. So we'll let this cook down. Alright, we're going to pop this up here. Get this in the sink, and we're going to turn our fire on. I don't think I'm going to add any dry seasonings or anything to this. I'm just going to do plain sauce. That way I can do with it whatever I want to do with it. And then I am going to add probably my salt and my lemon juice into each jar when I go to can them. So we're going to let this cook down for a while. We'll be back to show you how far I get it cooked down today. I might have to even cook it down some more tomorrow. Lord's will, though, hopefully we'll be able to can tomorrow. We'll just have to see how everything goes. So we'll be back later. Had the lid on it here, and it's getting to where it's heating up. I wish I would have cut these in smaller pieces. I don't know why I left them so big. So I'm going to maybe come in here with the blender after everything gets good and soft and blend that up. Hopefully that will help us thicken it up a little faster. I don't know what I was thinking. I should have chopped those smaller. I had it in my mind to chop them smaller, but I didn't. But it's okay. It'll all work out in the end. We'll probably cook it for an hour or so and just see what all we can get. Alright guys, so this has been cooking down for about an hour or so. I'm going to let it go for about 30 more minutes, and then I'm going to turn it off and put it up for the night. We'll let it cool down and then put it up for the night. I'm going to probably, when I get it up tomorrow, take the blender to it and chop them tomato pieces up and cook it down even more tomorrow. I'll show you what what we're working with here. Still very, very thin. It's cooked down some, as you can see on the edge here, but it's still
more juice than sauce. And we still have some good sized chunks in there that we're going to need to blend down. Hey everybody, and good morning. It is the next day. We are going to go ahead and get our pot out and get them on the stove here and get everything heated up. I didn't let it get as thick as I wanted to yesterday. I had to get a shower and stuff, and didn't have nobody to man the sauce because it was so late by the time we got to bed. And so we are going to have to thicken it up a little more today. So let's get started. Alright guys, we got it out, got the lid off. We're going to turn the heat on. I'll bring you all over here and show you, but this is just not as thick as I'd like it to get. So we're going to let her get a little thicker. Alright guys, we're going for a sauce, not a juice. And we're going to hopefully get these tomatoes all broke up. But we need this a lot thicker than this. So it looks thicker than what it is because it's cold too. We're going to need a lot more than that. So we're going to work on it. Alright guys, I got my good old trusty blender out here and went ahead and started blending this up. There's no fancy immersion blender around here, y'all. And you know, I watch these cooking videos and stuff, and they just tell you, you know, you absolutely need it. You have to have it. And I'm sure it's very convenient. It's a lot easier than this. Probably grinds it up a lot better. But for our young girls that's starting in the kitchen, you don't have to have all the fancy things. I don't have a blender. I don't have anything like that. I've just got my good old vintage mixer from JCPenney's. I don't even know how old this thing is. It's old, but it works. And so, like I said in my previous canning video, we're not fancy. We don't use fancy stuff around here. Will we like to have the fancy stuff? Yes. Do we have it? No. So, if you don't have all the fancy stuff, don't get discouraged. You don't need it. You can use what you've got. If you don't have a mixer, you can use a spoon. You can cut your pieces up smaller. There's just a few more steps you have to do when you don't have those things. But it's worth it. Anything you love doing is worth working for. So that's my 2 cents. But anyways, we got it all blended up here, all mixed up, and I'll get a spoon and show y'all what it looks like. Guys, that surely did the trick. Can you all see? It's definitely more of a sauce than big chunks like it was before. It does have a few chunks in it. I might have to blend it just a little more. I am still seeing a few more chunks, but that's no big deal. So we got the heat on. We're letting this warm up, and I got a child hollering. I got a child hollering for me. Give me just a minute. Alright, she got all situated. Like I said, we're going to have to grind this up a little bit more, I think. Just a tad. I mean, just a tad. Not much. But it worked, and we're going to let this heat up. It looks really, really good. Smells amazing. Alright, Lakin is in here making her famous scrambled eggs. You probably can't see it. Let's see. There they are. She's making her famous scrambled eggs. This is heating up a bit. I'm going to let it go just a little while. Not too long, because I do realize it's going to cook in
the pressure canner. And for those of you that didn't watch my first video, I don't have a water bath canner. I don't have the tools right now to do a water bath canner. I could do it, but I don't have anything to pull the jars out with, and that would be burning. Also, I've never used a water bath canner, and to me, a pressure canner is just my safe spot. Do you need a bowl, Lakin?
Yeah.
It's just my safe spot. That's where I feel safest. That's what I learned how to do. And I've only canned last year and this year, and so that's just where that's just the sweet spot for me. It's just where I feel right and feel safe canning, and so that's what we got going on. I don't want it much thicker than this, though. I just want it a little bit thicker, and we will work on maybe getting things canned. Andy is not going to be home from work probably for another couple hours, and so I do have time. I don't want to be canning. I don't want to be right in the smack dab middle of canning when he gets here, because we're going to have to go to the farm when he gets home from work. And so we're not on a time crunch, but we do just have a window of time where I need to get these canned. Probably won't get every bit of them canned. My canner takes a long time to build up and stuff where it's older, but we'll probably start canning these soon. So next time you see me, we'll probably be getting the canning stuff ready. Alrighty, guys, we're getting our jars and everything ready. I'm not going to need all these, but they needed washed, and so I'm going ahead and washing them. Lakin's going to drop these hot jars down in here. They've done been cleaned the other day, but I'm going to clean them again. I don't want to risk nothing. Put them down in here at Lakin, but the water's very, very hot, so don't touch. I'm going to go ahead and take rings and lids and I've got water bowl in here, and we're going to go ahead and get them down in the water here. I'm just going to do, I'm going to do 4. I'm going to do 4 rings and 4 lids. I don't even know if this will fill them up. I'm going to wash these pint jars just in case if I need one. So I don't have enough to fill the other jars, and I'm going to wash them. But once I get these pint jars washed, we're going to drain this sink here and put some hot water down in here. Put some hot water down in the sink and sit these jars down in it. Okay, guys, as you can see, we've got this hot water in here. We're going to get our jars down in it. I don't think it's going to take 4 of these, but we're going to go ahead and put 4 in and put. This way we clean these. I see a spot on the bottom of this. It's like that we missed. That's why you want to be really careful about your jars. I don't know what that was, like food or something. Okay. And I'm going to put 1 down in here. And we're going to go with that for now. Let me turn you around. Pressure cooker's hot. It's got steam coming out off of it. This is hot. I'm going to go ahead and turn the fire off of it. It's ready to go. Let's pull you a little closer so you can see here. It's about the thickness I want it. And we've got our rings and jars back here. So, or rings and lids, forgive me. Rings and lids. So we're going to get our little tray and our jars set up to get things ladled in. Alrighty, guys, we got our hot sauce. We got our jars and hot water. We got our canner getting hot. We've got our lids and our rings. We've got our ladle, our salt, our lemon juice, our
teaspoons for our salt and our lemon juice, and we've got these little grabbers to grab the rings and the lids out. And now we just need to get our jars and start filling them up. Oh, forgot this. And I also need to get vinegar. I'm forgetting stuff, guys. Fill a little bowl here with it and get me a clean rag. That way I can wipe the rims of my jars and make sure there's no food, make sure they're good and clean before I put them into the canner. Alright, we got it now. So, start filling. We'll make sure we leave a head space at the top. That's good right there. Get our air bubbles out. Should put my salt and stuff in first. Oh, that's a little much. That come out really fast. I just scooped the top of that one off because that's a half a teaspoon, and it was about a half a teaspoon sitting on the top there. Something that I was watching a video and something that somebody said that I didn't really think about. I know some people put your lemon juice on the bottom, but if you refrigerate your lemon juice and you're putting cold lemon juice onto the bottom of a hot jar, you might get some breakage. And so I either try to put it in the middle when I'm filling it up or put it on the top. That way we're not breaking jars. Okay, that's the first one down. And we'll go ahead and speed this up and see how many jars we can fill. Alright guys, that just worked out just like the Lord wanted it to. It worked out right perfect. We got just enough for 5 of these. So I went ahead and dropped my ring and my lid down into the boiling water here for my 5th one, because remember I only did 4 rings because I thought, ain't no way. But praise the Lord, thank the Lord Jesus, that worked out just the way it needed to. We didn't have to waste none. Y'all look. It worked out just right. And so now we're going to take our finger, run it over the jar. I don't see no chips. I don't see no food. We're going to take the vinegar and go ahead and run it over it anyways. We're going to get our little thingies, grab us a ring, Lord willing, and grab us a lid if it'll come out here. Come on, lid. He's wanting to hide. Let's see if we can get another one, maybe. I got 2 lids right there. That'll work. Get us a lid. We got a ring. We've wiped our rim. We've checked it for brakes. And we're going to pop this bad boy on here. Our canner's going good. And we're going to drop this down in here. I need to check my timing on these quarts, because I don't use quarts very much. I don't feel no chips. I don't feel no food. We're going to wipe it just to make sure. We're going to grab us a lid, set it straight, and grab us a ring. We're just going to keep on doing this. I'll come back with you when we get everything in the pot. Alrighty guys, we've got them all in the jar here. I'm trying to clean up a little bit.
We got our 5 quart jars in here, and we're going to go ahead and get our lid on. According to my pressure canner, we've got to allow steam to come up for 10 minutes out of the top. Then we put our jiggler on at 10 pounds of pressure, and we let that go for 10 minutes, and then we're going to cook these for 15 minutes in the pressure canner. So I'll come back to y'all maybe when we get some steam, or maybe when we get a jiggle. We'll just have to see. It'll depend on how long it takes me to clean up this mess. So it's a going, and we'll be back with you soon. Pro tip from not such of a pro. The rag I used that had vinegar on it to wipe the jars, I used to clean up. It has vinegar on it. The extra vinegar that was in the bowl, I pour that down into the sink, or I pour that into the sink with the boiling water, the hot water that the cans and lids were used on. Don't pour that stuff down the drain. Use it to clean up your mess after you can, because everybody knows canning makes a mess. I feel like after I finish canning and all the cans and the jars and stuff are laying around, I feel like my house is just cluttered and dirty. And I usually go on a deep cleaning spree the day or two after I can. So we're going to get this stove cleaned up. We're going to get these dishes washed. But that's my tip. Use the hot water, the boiling water that you use to boil your cans with, or your jars and lids with. And then of course, if you boiled your water and put it into your jars there, you can pour that in the sink, and that's what I did. I used that water that I poured into the jars, used the water that I used for the lids and the rings, and used the vinegar and the vinegar rag that I used to wipe the jars and stuff up. And it makes a cleaning solution for you, and you don't have to run more water or anything like that. It cleans up everything really good. Alright guys, we're still cleaning up and getting the dishes dried and stuff, but we do have a steady stream. I don't know. Ow! I just burnt myself. I don't know if you can see it or not. I was trying to show you. Burnt myself in the process. No, you can't see it. Okay, anywho, take my word for it. We got a steady stream here. I went ahead and started the timer for 10 minutes, and we will put that jiggler on when the 10 minutes are up. Alrighty guys, the jiggler is on. We're going to wait for it to start jiggling, and then we'll start our timer for 15 minutes. Yay! Y'all hear that? Time to start the timer. Alright guys, timer is went off. I went ahead and turned our heat off. We'll let this cool down for just a minute or two, and then I'll move it back to the back burner. Alright guys, we're home. Yes, I made an outfit change, but it is still the same day. It's hot outside, and so when you come in, you go get cleaned up and get in your PJs, getting something cool when we come in. So I did change, but it is the same day. We're going to go ahead and get this canner open and see if everything made it. Let's move it a little closer, guys. Oh, this is heavy. Alright, let's open her up. Come on now. It's in the open position, and it feels like it would come off, but there we go. There we go. Just had to wiggle it a little bit. Oh, I poured all of that moisture in my floor. Okay. Well, they look good. Alright, and if you haven't watched my last video, these are good and cooled down because they've been sitting for a while. We went out to the farm, and it's been hours since I've even touched this canner. So what I'm going to try to do, it's not too hot. What I'm going to try to do, when I pull them out, I try not to pull by the lid. I pull by the glass there, and then I just put the rings tight. Let me move y'all back, and I'll show you pulling them out. Alright, got y'all moved back. I try to grab it by the sides, like I said. They look like everybody's sealed up good. But I'm going to go ahead and put the ring on tight anyways. I guess it's just habit. But I pull them out by the side, and tighten my ring. Pull them out by the side, tighten my ring. They look absolutely beautiful. And that canner smells so good when you open it. Look how pretty. It's so pretty. I love them. Anywho, we got our 5 cans. That's all that I'll be canning today. So it worked out good. I'm glad that we got 5 quarts. I wasn't quite sure if we were going to get 5 quarts, but I thank the Lord for it. I thank Him for putting this, allowing me to be able to put this back. Everything worked out perfect. Everything's sealed. Alright guys, so everything looks good. Everything's sealed. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you all goodbye. I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for hanging out with us. And this is just truly a blessing that the Lord has provided us to be able to put this stuff back and to give us this much to begin with. So I'm thankful for it. I thank you all for watching. I thank you all for hanging out with us through this process. And I hope you all will come back. So we'll see you next time. Bye.